I'm Randy with ReportMaster Software. Today we're going to talk about high-tech versus low-tech. You know, there are a lot of systems out there, and there are features, and there are bells and whistles, and there are certain things that really work well, and there are certain things that don't work that well. We have thousands of clients who've basically told us about what works and what doesn't work. And you know what? It's different for different clients. I mean, some clients like certain features, other clients like other features. And the key for you is to really be aware of what's out there and be able to kind of take a look at it and consider how it would work with your own practice. So we're going to take a look at that today. First, let me tell you what I've heard is not working, and realize we have thousands of chiropractors who are feeding us all this information. The little handheld devices, the handheld PDAs, they're just too small. The screen's too small. It's hard to find a doctor out there who's happy with one of those. Another thing, you know these really cool-looking high-tech wall-mounted kiosks it's a nice-looking wood kind of look, and they're very, very cool-looking. Well, they're very expensive. They're not mobile. You have to put one anywhere where you need to be able to input data. And thirdly, a doctor told me this the other day. When to input data, he has to turn his back on the patient. And I tell you, you really don't want to. You want to be in the best possible communication with your patient, and you want that patient to walk away feeling that you were in excellent communication with him. And now, on the other hand, a tablet. A tablet is a high-tech device. You can walk around with it. It's mobile, and you can be inputting data while you're sitting face-to-face talking with the patient. It's perfect. You only have to have one of them to walk around with. And let me just give you an idea of the kind of features you need to have in a system for it to work on a tablet. You know, any Windows system, you can load it on a tablet, but how easy will it be to run? For instance, here's a date. If the only way to change this date was to type it, that would be a problem on a tablet, because on a tablet you'd have to pull out a keyboard or whatever. Whereas here, if you click this little button here, you can click on a date, you can hit OK, it changes it. So, you know, you need to make sure there are features there that are geared for the tablet. Now, as far as whether or not to get a tablet or to do something else, one of the questions you need to ask yourself is, you know, how good are you with computers? Do you want to be doing all this input, or do you want to have your staff be doing some or all of it for you? And just as an example, some of our clients tell, and the other question is, how many out of 100 visits, how many notes actually have to be sent out to someone else, you know, other than yourself? And in which case you want them to be typed up and perfect, but maybe it's only 5 out of 100 or 10 or whatever. And so what a lot of our clients do, and this is the ones who don't want to get a tablet, they simply check off a simple form. Now, this form is totally customizable. Here we have at C1, you found articular fixations and moderate pain, and you adjusted it. Now, the way that comes out in a note, and realize that anybody could input this, you or a staff member. Here we have cervical region palpation revealed following moderate pain and articular fixations at C1. Click, click, and it's done. So the point is, you could actually check a form off. They could input it. The other thing too is, let's say you do some PI work, and even if you're using a tablet and you are doing it all yourself, well, there's certain things that it makes sense to involve your staff on, like an auto accident description. Here's an example of a form the patient can check off with a full description of a car accident, and then it matches the screen in the program, so it's very easy for a staff member to input, and then what you end up with in your auto accident description in the report is perfectly well written and typed up. So even if you were going to do everything yourself, there are certain things you'd probably want to have your staff help you with, because they can, and it'll save you time. Now, another key question here. Oh, by the way, one other thing. One of our clients, who's actually the insurance chairman for his state, he actually uses a form like we looked at. He checks it off, has the ones input that need to be typed up, and then he scans in the forms. He uses a scanner, scans in the forms into the computer, so he has a picture of the form and gets rid of the paper. So he's actually checking off a form, but then he ends up being paperless. And I found that pretty interesting when we heard about that. So that's something you could do as well if you wanted to be paperless. Now, the other thing, though, and this may be the most important thing, whatever system you end up getting, make sure that what it writes well, because if it doesn't, you're going to end up having to correct it or send things out that don't look very good, and you don't want to do that. So most systems are not designed by English majors. You know, these are computer programmers who probably don't even use very good grammar themselves. So when you look at what a system produces, make sure what it produces is good enough. And I'd encourage you to go to our website and take a look at our samples, because what our system produces, it is absolutely perfect, and you don't have to edit, and it saves you time. So our website's www.reportmaster.com. And we'd love to talk to you, too. If you ever have any questions about any of this, or if you'd like to take a close look yourself, or if you have an idea about what you'd like us to cover in a future video, just let us know. All right?
Please give us a call today, toll-free, 877-742-9215 for a live demonstration. Thanks.